Hi, and welcome to today's book chat. So, the book I'm going to talk about today, I had a lot of expectations for. If you've been following my book chats for a while, you might remember that one of my very first books, which I was extremely excited about, I was like, was actually Liane Moriarty's Big Little Lies. And I love that book. I consumed it in a couple of days. It's one of those books that wrapped itself right around my soul, and um, it was something I needed to read at that time in my life, and I learned from it, and it was probably my favorite book of the past 2 years. And I read a lot. I've probably read close to 100 books in that time, and that one stands out beyond them all. So when I picked up today's book, Truly Madly Guilty, it's hard to see all that white. Anyways, I was really looking forward to it. It will be the second thing I've read by Liane Moriarty. And so I will say that my expectations were not met. But stay tuned because I still think it is a definitely well worth reading book. But before I get into that side of it, I do think, not think, there were a lot of things that I didn't really like about this book, or that I just could have liked more if it had been done differently. So to start off, the book is pretty slow, and made slower by the fact that the format that the author used goes back and forth between an event that happened several months before the present in the book, and then going back to the present, and it's set up that something happened at this event, and the author creates, I think it's intended to be suspense, but as I was reading, it was just more kind of uh, not tedious, but laborious. Is that a word? Anyways, it was hard to not be frustrated, basically. She kept on hinting and hinting and hinting at this event, and the characters, obviously, it affected them very strongly. Um, and because there was such strong suggestion and such strong indication that this drastically altered the characters' lives, I expected a lot more from it, I think. I guessed aspects of what happened as things were being revealed slowly. I kind of guessed a lot of the next things way before I thought I should have, when there had been so much suspense held up around that. The other thing that was kind of a little bit of a turnoff for me is that the author used the point of views of basically almost every character who was presented. And there's quite a few characters throughout the book, I would say, at least about 10 to 12 point of views. Some of them I didn't think was really necessary. However, though I did not like that at times, I think it also is what made me like the book as a whole, because seeing these different characters, some of them was just really interesting. These people are complex. And so I really haven't told you much about the book, but basically, it's a group of friends who aren't really that good of friends, more neighbors, and then two women who have been friends since childhood, but it's more been thrust upon them. And they're at a barbecue, and something happens at that barbecue that then turns the worlds upside down, and causes them and the author to explore issues of parenthood, issues of marriage, issues of sex, of friendship, of guilt, of just about everything under human experience. Okay, maybe not quite that much, but that's what made the book. Seeing these characters, seeing their complicated relationships, seeing their past. And I think Liane Moriarty did an amazing job of incorporating the backstories of these characters without that aspect being tedious. Rather, it was incredibly engaging and interesting. And in little snippets and little moments, I found I learned a lot from this book. And for me, that's something that I love, something that makes me think about my own life, or the way I view the world, um, the way I view my relationship. I learned something about the way that I interact with my husband, which I'd never realized before, and I think will help me to be a better wife. So that was really poignant, I guess, and questions about friendships and why we remain friends with the people that we do, and what that always means, and how sometimes you can get to a point where you've traveled such different roads that if you had met today, you wouldn't be friends, but because of that history, because of that shared past, that friendship is something that's going to stay forever, and that's a part of you, and that without it entirely, you wouldn't quite be who you are. Even if you do part ways at one point, you still have that memory that will be something you cherish. Yeah, I've talked a lot about it. Anyways, this book, it won the Goodreads Reader's Choice Award. So a lot of people must have also thought that it had something really worthwhile. So I'm still really interested in reading some more of Liane Moriarty's other books. And this one, as I said, although it didn't live up to all of my expectations, I still really enjoyed it. And it's a worthwhile book, so check it out. Head over to my website. Again, that's Truly Madly Guilty by Liane Moriarty. And you can find links to the book on my website, charlenecarr.com. And you can also sign up for my mailing list if you like and get the first 2 books in my women's fiction series free. So these books are Skinny Me and Where There Is Life. They deal as well with issues of friendship, with issues of self-esteem, with loss, with grieving. And I think you'll really enjoy it. So yeah, check it out.